Good evening. My presentation will be on organizational design, structure, and change representation on the company Nike. The agenda will consist of organizational introduction, innovativeness, quality of management, long term investment, social responsibility to community and the environment, people management, quality of product and service, financial soundness, wise use of corporate assessment assets, and finally, missed opportunities. The company I'm speaking on is Nike. Nike Incorporated, formerly Blue Ribbon Sports, American sportswear company headquartered in Beaverton, Oregon. It was founded in 1964 as Blue Ribbon Sports by Bill Bowerman, a track and field coach at the University of Oregon, and his student, Phil Knight. They opened their first retail outlet in 1966 and launched Nike brand shoes in 1972. The company was renamed Nike Incorporated in 1978 and went public 2 years later. By the early 21st century, Nike had retail outlets and distributors in more than 170 countries, and its logo, a curved check mark called the swoosh, is recognized throughout the world. The organization's innovation. Since its inception in 1964, Nike has been an innovative leader in product development, marketing, and consumer experience. Due to the dedication to continuous innovation, Nike has been able to sustain a competitive advantage with athletic apparel and footwear in the marketplace. Organization's quality of management. Nike judges the quality of design process according to the number of errors in the design and to its effectiveness achieving its market requirements. For the past few years, Nike has committed to developing environmentally friendly designs and eliminating product waste. They, the company's philosophy is based upon the concept of that planet Earth is finite, and that the looming crisis of climate change, water scarcity, inequality, and other resource constraints are even greater term challenges than today's financial disorder. In a resource constrained world, innovation must be used to conserve water, increase energy efficiency, reuse and recycle products. The concept of green manufacturing can be very profitable for the company that can afford to adopt it. Nike's long term innovation, the company's original innovation, a waffle sole running shoe, established a culture of innovation that permeates nearly every aspect of the company. Early on, Nike invested heavily in an innovation lab, which has evolved into a sophisticated research space where premier researchers apply scientific approaches to understand human movement and philosophy. Today, this innovation space remains at the physical core of the company's headquarters and at the philosophical core of product development. This emphasis on innovations since the company's established has led Nike to develop industry changing technology such as Nike Air and Nike Shock soles, dry fit fabrics, and mass customization capabilities. Nike's social responsibility to the community and environment. The responsibility to the community, Nike has invested over $79.4 million in communities throughout the world in fiscal year 2018, totaling $396 million invested since fiscal year 2014. Nike's employees contribute more than $7.5 million in 2008 for charitable causes throughout the world. Nike helped more than 16.5 million kids globally throughout its made to play commitment. They grew the vice president level representative of women by 4%, bringing it to 36%. They've achieved global pay equality and investing a minimum of 1.5% of pre-tax income into the community impacts initiatives. Their responsibilities to the environment. Nike has made a commitment to reduce their carbon footprint, innovating manufacturing, keeping human voice the heart of everything it does, from manufacturing to marketing. They developed a new palette of sustainable materials, inventing closed loop products, moving to complete renewable energy, diverse workplace, and inclusive culture that became a catalyst for innovation. They invested and encourage employees to invest in communities and markets where Nike operates. Nike management of people. A poll was created with Nike employees who employs almost 10,000 employees. When they said their pay, they felt that their pay was 37% felt that their pay was good. And they said that the most beneficial or perk to working at Nike was the discounts they received on their products. 54% of the employees said healthcare coverage was a reason for being at the job. They said the work-life balance, that they felt neutral, that Nike was fair with their work-life balance, and for growth opportunity. Within 2 to 5 years, 40% of their employees have been able to promote. Continuing on, they said the best part about working at Nike is the friendly culture. So 75% of the employees are happy to work there, while 93% of the coworkers say they socialize. Nike's quality of product and service. Nike has maintained a standard of producing quality shoes and apparel and they made a promise to their consumers to maintain the highest possible quality of care. They've listed They listen to athletes and design their shoes to meet endurance, durability, performance standards specifically. Nike's financial soundness. Nike is the world's largest supplier of athletic apparel and footwear in the world. Fiscal year 2019 ended with $39.1 billion in revenue. That's 7% increase from the previous year, which saw revenue come in at $36.4 billion. On a currency neutral basis, the rise was 11% from the previous fiscal year. Converse and Hurley are Nike's core subsidiary brands. Converse designs, markets, and distributes athletic lifestyle apparel and footwear and accessories. Hurley, on the other hand, designs, markets, and distributes surf and youth lifestyle footwear, apparel, and accessories. Market transitions to direct distribution and AGD and strong growth in the United States pushed revenue for Converse to $1.9 billion, which is up 3% on the currency neutral base from the previous fiscal year. Excluding the revenue from Converse, Nike's revenue was $37.2 billion. And geographically, Nike's revenue for 2019 fiscal year was broken down as follows. In North America, Nike made $15.9 billion, or 42% of total revenue. Europe, Middle East, and Africa equated to $9.8 billion, or 26% of total revenue. Greater China produced $6.2 billion, or 17% of total revenue. Asia Pacific, Latin America at $5.2 billion, or 14% of total revenue. Wise use of corporate assets. Nike focused on brand recognition and growth via endorsements, along with investments in research and development, and demand generation should continue to pay off. Nike's missed opportunities. Nike has dropped the ball on the cost of their shoes, with the average cost of their shoes being $100. Nike's had a history of using sweatshops for their employees and overseas, as well as poor wages for workers that work overseas. And in Pakistan, there was a violation of the child labor laws where they were working and paying pennies on the dollar for their employees, when shoes are costing $28 to make and $28 to make, and they were paying their workers less than 4 cents a day. In summary, we've talked about Nike as an organization, the innovativeness, the quality of management, their long-term investment values, the social responsibilities to the community and the environment, people management, quality of products and service, financial soundness, their wise use of corporate assets, and Nike's missed opportunities. This concludes my presentation.